Kyle Walker's 77 overall and looks a very good addition to the team, already looking stronger in defence. Just need to get the left back sorted out, and I think we're pretty much going to be done for the starting 11. We might have a look on the bench and see where we need to improve. We've received a transfer offer for Nzonzi. Now I really do feel is integral to the team. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. He's kind of the heart of our team. He is a very good player. He's our best player virtually other than Bojan. And I think he's going to be such a fantastic player for us, so I don't want to sell him. But if the right offer comes in, then he might actually have to leave because he is worth quite a bit. 7 million though doesn't really tempt me, so for now I am going to reject the offer. Crystal Palace have said they decided to match it and they are going to pay 4.5 million for Peter Crouch. That's brilliant. Let's have a look at Kolarov. He has decided to accept. Now we've signed him. We've only got 2.6 million left now though. That's a bit more worrying, but remember Crouch is on his way out, so we should get some money for that, but I'm not really too sure how much. Okay, so I've just managed to sign John Stones. That is so tight. We've got £100 left in the wage budget, but it's going to be worth it because John Stones is going straight into the team and he can easily kick out the current centre-back that we've got there, which is called Walshide or something. He's not particularly good. I mean, he's the same overall, obviously, but he's not as fast as John Stones, and obviously John Stones is about 5 years younger, so he's going to be a lot better, and I think we've got a bit more squad depth in us now. There are a few players I want to loan out, as you can see. Basically, the players without faces, I want to loan them out. Alabi is he called? Something like that. I want to get rid of him on loan, and Palacios needs to go. And so does Sidwell, I think, as well, and probably Wilkinson. So there are a few players to try and get rid of. Hopefully the money from Crouch is coming through soon, and we can maybe try and sign a replacement for him. Okay, Peter Crouch, money has come through. We've got 3.8 million allocated to our budget. That's not too bad, actually. We have received an offer. We've managed to get rid of Alabi to Stevenage. I don't think he's got that much on his wage. It's just over £2 by the looks of it. So it doesn't have a massive impact on us, but still we've got a player loaned out. I've just decided to list Charlie Adam because I did feel it was in my plans originally, but now looking at the team, looking at what his wage is, I am going to try and get rid of him. That's along with Stephen Ireland as well, who I've now decided to list. And I think that's probably going to be about it for the players I'm going to list now. Steve Sidwell, for some reason, isn't listed, and that is the reason why. Maybe we can try and loan him out, because I don't think he's going to be a player that I'm going to be using. Just received another transfer offer. It's another loan one, and again, doesn't really affect our wage budget too much, but it's nice to get him out on loan. I've received a bid for Charlie Adam from West Ham, and they've put in a bid for 1.9 million. That's a bit disappointing, actually. I was hoping for more like 3 million, something like that. I'm going to put that as the counter offer. They probably should match that, West Ham. It's not loads for them, so we can try and get a few million from him, and we're obviously going to have to try and get a replacement. And they've said that 2.5 million is what they are planning to pay, or what they want to pay. They're not going to pay 3. We are going to accept that purely because we want the wage budget, and I think 2.5 million, it's above his valuation anyway, and I think that's probably going to be as good as we're going to get. Okay, so I've got my scout report back for James Ward-Prowse. I can't remember whether I did tell you that I was going to scout him, but I'm going to add him to my shortlist for now, and I probably will put in a bid, but not just yet. We're going to see what sort of money we've got left over and decide whether I'm going to put in a bid for him. I also scouted Alex Mowat, and again, I think he might be a good player to come in and try and influence the team. He's going to play a squad role, obviously, but I'm thinking when Stephen Ireland goes and when Sidwell goes out on loan, I'm going to need some players as backup, and I think Alex Mowat could be quite a good young player to have in the team. Okay, so this is the team I'm going to be using to play this friendly game. I'm not going to actually play it, I'm going to sim it. It's not really got any of my main players in other than Arnautovic, and other than that, there's not any big players in there. There's none of my new signings that I can remember, and I think we are just going to sim this game against Granada. We're also going to skip it because it doesn't really mean anything. We've lost 1-0, that's absolutely fine, doesn't really affect us, and let's move on to making some more signings. Well, instead of signing someone, we've managed to sell Charlie Adam for 2.1 million. That's been allocated to our budget along with his wage. Now we've got a decent amount, and I'm going to try and sign some midfielders. First player I'm going to try and sign is James Ward-Prowse. Now, his recommended value thing that the chief executive has said is 9.5 million to 15.5. I obviously don't have that sort of money. I'm going to put in 3 million and Palacios, because I'm just going to kind of test the water a little bit, see what they say to that. He's on a 6-year deal at the moment, so it's going to be tricky to try and get him. And we're also going to try and sign Alex Moat. What we are going to do for Leeds is also virtually put in the same offer other than the amount. We're going to put in Palacios as the player, and then the amount is going to be 1.5 million. Hopefully we can try and sign him, and he'll be a good player to get in the squad. We've got another transfer offer for Oliver Shenton, and it's from Exeter City, and it's a season-long loan, and we're obviously going to accept that one because we won't be using him. Let's move on to some other offers. I've got the scout report back for Sergio Roberto. Again, I can't remember whether I did show you him, but I am going to try and sign him actually because he does look a decent player. He is on a 5-year deal currently, so it's going to be a bit tricky. I'm going to try and sign him for 3 million, see what they say to that amount to start off with. Now, surprisingly, Leeds have actually said it's unacceptable, the offer we put in. Maybe it's Palacios that's kind of putting them off a little bit, but we are going to put him in there just to kind of sweeten the deal slightly. We are going to put it up to 1.8 million along with Palacios, who's worth like 400 grand. So it's a fairly good deal for them. And again, we have got another friendly to play, so I'll sort out the team and I'll be back in a minute. Again, it's another fairly average team that I've put out. Only 2 changes really, the left mid and the centre attacking mid. So let's get on with the friendly and see whether we can try and get a win in this second game. I'm going to skip it, expecting to lose this one again. And we've actually got a draw from that one, not too bad. They did miss a penalty though inside the first minute, so we can consider ourselves lucky there. Southampton have said the transfer bid that I put in was completely unacceptable, so we are going to have to try and change our tactics slightly. We're going to throw in Stephen Ireland in order to try and sign James Ward-Prowse. He's worth 3.4 million, and we're going to again keep 3 million in there and see what they say to that. Leeds have again said that's unacceptable, so we're just going to have to get rid of Palacios and just go for pure money now. We're going to go for 2 million this time, see what they say to that. Again, I think we are paying a lot of money for him, but he is a good young player. He's 19 years old, so he should be quite a good player. Southampton have also said they're not interested in the player again. I don't think we're going to be able to sign Ward-Prowse, sadly. It's a shame because he does look like a sort of player I want in my team, but we're maybe going to have to look at players that are not young and as expensive as this. Now, I know this player is young, and I know he's recently just joined the team apparently, but we are going to put in a bid anyway. Stephen Ireland and 3 million. We're going to see whether we can try and sign Rafinha. Hopefully we can, but I think it's a bit optimistic. Andre Gomez is the next player we're going to go for. Again, it's including Stephen Ireland, 3.4 million he's worth, and we're going to put in 3 million as the transfer sum. He's probably going to be worth more than that. We might not be able to sign him, but it's just to kind of test the water again. This is the player we're going to put in a bid for as a Peter Crouch replacement, and he does look like a very good player. He's 6'2", 21 years old, and he's got a fairly decent sprint speed as well. So we are going to try and sign him. Hopefully it'll be a good signing. I'm trying to think whether there's any players I want to put in the deal, and to be honest I can't think of too many players. Andy Wilkinson maybe, 1.1 million he's worth, and we'll put in another million and see what they say to that. We've had a bid for Ryan Shawcross, 7.5 million from Leicester City. Now, they are one of our rivals, you could say. They're probably going to be a bit lower than us this season, but you never know. If I was to sell him, I'd have to get probably 10 million for him. So I am going to put 10.5 million as the counter offer. If they want to match that, then fair enough. We do need the money. Now, Barcelona have accepted this offer somehow. I'm not really too sure how they've accepted it, but we might actually be signing another Barcelona player. Obviously, the other one was Bojan. I don't think he came from Barcelona, though he might have been at another Spanish team after that. I can't quite remember, but we are going to try and sign him. He's an important first-team player, and this could be a pretty decent signing. We're going to play with the same team for this friendly again against Real Sociedad. Hopefully we can get a win, but like in the previous 2 games, it's not particularly vital. And we got another draw, 1-1. That's not too bad considering it's a pretty average team that I've put out. Leicester have come back and said that 8 million is as much as they would like to pay. Again, I'm going to try and say 10 million. I have lowered it slightly by 500 grand, but to be honest, I don't really want to go too much underneath that. Lazio have said they're not interested in the player I have included, so we are going to probably try and take him out the deal, I think. And we're just going to go with 1.9 million, I think we're going to go with. I know it's only just inside the valuation that the chief executive has put out, but I think it's a pretty good offer to go with. And Sergi Roberto does want to have a bigger role in the squad. That's going to have to be a crucial first team player, again on a 4-year deal, and hopefully he should accept this time. Leeds rejected, and they said that this sum should be more than the 2 million that I originally put in. That's a lot to ask, really. I don't think we're going to be able to give any more, other than Wilkinson chucked in the deal as well. We have just received an offer from West Ham for Andy Wilkinson. They look to be trying to sign a few of our players, actually. We're going to go with 1 million as the price. I don't really want to let him go for any more than that, but we'll have to see what they say to it. We've received another bid for Ryan Shawcross from West Brom, and again we're just going to say 10.5 million as the initial counter offer that I'm going to provide. And Leicester City have again said 8 million, so we will reject that one. Lazio have accepted this time. 1.9 million was enough, 10 grand, 4-year contract, and he's going to be a squad rotational player. Leeds have accepted this time. Andy Wilkinson's obviously of interest, and a 4-year deal is going to have to do, and a squad rotational player. Southampton have put in a bid for Nzonzi. 7.5 million it is, but we're not going to let him go just yet. We're probably going to reject all offers, actually, just for now. 7.5 is not really enough for me. West Brom don't believe Ryan Shawcross is worth 10.5. That's fair enough. West Ham have matched the 1 million counter offer that I've given, and he might actually be leaving and not being included in the Leeds deal. I didn't think about that. Sergio Roberto declined because he loves living there and doesn't want to relocate. He could be persuaded though, and hopefully 50 grand will be enough to persuade him, and a bonus per goal of 20%. And we will put him as a crucial first team player. Whether he will be or not, I'm not 100% sure. We've managed to sign the 21-year-old striker for 1.9 million, and he's going probably straight onto the bench, I'd imagine, as Crouch's replacement. We've managed to sell Andy Wilkinson, which means that we haven't signed Alex Mowat because he was obviously sold and put in the Mowat deal, so that means I won't be able to get the deal now for Mowat. And Sergio Roberto says that he doesn't want to leave. He could be persuaded, but I'm not going to give him any more than 50 grand a week. Okay guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, then please leave a like and subscribe. For all I know, this could be 2 episodes, depending on how much footage I've got. And thank you very much for watching. If you do want to see more of this, then like I say, let me know in the comments and drop a like. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.